Come to my channel Coin Worth Million today. Video is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins, top United States half dollar. So let's get it started. The 1983 United States half dollar, a symbol of legacy and transition. The 1983 Kennedy half dollar holds a unique position within the grand narrative of American numismatics. More than just a coin, it represents a blend of historical significance, patriotic symbolism, and evolving trends in American coinage. Struck 2 decades after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the coin stood not only as a memorial to a fallen leader, but also as a reflection of America's shifting monetary priorities in the late 20th century. Origins and design. First issued in 1964, the Kennedy half dollar replaced the Franklin half dollar almost overnight in response to the national mourning that followed President Kennedy's assassination in November 1963. The obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, features a left-facing profile of Kennedy, sculpted from a portrait he had posed for in 1963. The reverse, crafted by Frank Gasparro, showcases the presidential seal, an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, surrounded by 50 stars, representing unity and strength. By 1983, the Kennedy half dollar had already undergone significant changes. While the 1964 version was struck in 90% silver, rising silver prices led to the introduction of a copper-nickel clad composition in 1971, which remained in use through 1983. Despite this transition, the coin's design remained largely unchanged, preserving its tribute to Kennedy while adapting to economic realities. The minting landscape in 1983, the early 1980s were a complex period for half dollars. Public demand for the denomination had sharply declined since the 1970s, and by 1983, half dollars were rarely seen in everyday transactions. Despite this, the U.S. Mint continued to produce them for circulation, albeit in smaller quantities. The 1983 Kennedy half dollars were struck at 2 primary facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D. No coins were produced at the San Francisco Mint for general circulation, though proof versions were made for collectors. The 1983 P and 1983 D Kennedy half dollars are relatively common in circulated condition. However, finding them in uncirculated, high-grade condition can be challenging, particularly due to the quality control issues and heavy bag marks that plagued minting during this era. Collectors prize coins graded MS65 and above, especially those with sharp details and lustrous finishes. Economic and cultural context. In the early 1980s, the U.S. economy was undergoing a period of transition, characterized by a move from inflation-ridden stagnation to a more stable, growth-oriented outlook under the Reagan administration. The role of coinage in everyday commerce was also shifting. Vending machines, inflation, and consumer preferences were reducing the utility of the half dollar. Coins like the quarter and the dollar bill had become far more dominant. This decline in practical usage gave the Kennedy half dollar an increasingly symbolic role. It was less about commerce and more about commemoration. The coin served as a tangible reminder of Kennedy's ideals, hope, progress, and public service, and as a nostalgic link to the post-World War II era when his presidency had briefly rekindled a youthful optimism in the American spirit. Collectability and value. From a numismatic perspective, the 1983 half dollar doesn't command high values in circulated condition. However, its value grows significantly in gem uncirculated or proof states. The 1983 S proof version, struck in San Francisco with a mirror-like finish, is particularly popular among collectors. While the copper-nickel composition limits its intrinsic metal value, the historical and aesthetic appeal of the coin endures. Additionally, 1983 marks an important year for enthusiasts who focus on error coins and varieties. There are known examples of off-center strikes, double dies, and planche flaws among the 1983 Kennedy half dollars, which add intrigue and complexity for collectors willing to delve deep into the minting anomalies of the period. Legacy and reflection. Ultimately, The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a dated coin. It is a miniature monument to an American legacy. It reminds us of the collective mourning that unified a nation in 1963, of the ways in which American currency tells stories beyond its face value, and of the ongoing tension between tradition and practicality in U.S. coinage policy. As the use of physical coins continues to wane in favor of digital transactions, coins like the 1983 half-dollar serve as touchstones to a different era when the metal in your pocket carried not just economic worth, but emotional and cultural significance. In this sense, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a modest yet enduring chapter in the larger American story, one of innovation, memory, and the complex relationship between a nation and its icons. The 2023 United States half-dollar, a modern tribute to a timeless legacy. In an age dominated by digital currencies, contactless payments, and online wallets, the 2023 Kennedy half-dollar stands as a quiet yet dignified relic, a living tribute to America's history, leadership, and numismatic tradition. More than 6 decades after its initial release in 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar continues to bridge generations of Americans, maintaining its role as a patriotic symbol and a collector's staple. The 2023 edition of this iconic coin doesn't merely replicate the past. It reaffirms the coin's relevance in a modern world that often forgets the stories embedded in its own pocket change. A legacy forged in mourning. To appreciate the importance of the 2023 half-dollar, one must return to its origin. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, a mere few months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The national grief was palpable, and Americans needed a symbol to commemorate the fallen leader. At the insistence of Jacqueline Kennedy and the swift coordination of the U.S. Mint, the Franklin half-dollar design was retired early, and Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparro created a coin that would honor the 35th president's legacy. Since then, the Kennedy half-dollar has remained a staple of American coinage, not only as currency but as a cultural artifact. With each passing decade, it has evolved, not in design so much as in production and purpose, reflecting broader shifts in public use and federal minting policy. Minting in the 21st century. The 2023 edition. The 2023 Kennedy half-dollar continues. The design tradition that has remained largely untouched since its inception. The obverse features Kennedy's stately profile, drawn from Roberts' original engraving based on a 1963 bust. The reverse, unchanged from Gasparro's original, depicts the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle clutching olive branches and arrows, surrounded by 50 stars, representing the unity and power of the United States. What makes the 2023 edition noteworthy, however, is not a design change, but the purpose and production method. Since 2002, Kennedy half-dollars have not been minted for general circulation. Instead, they are produced in limited quantities for collectors. In 2023, these coins were struck at the Denver, D, and Philadelphia, P, mints, and released in specially packaged rolls and bags through the U.S. Mint's numismatic catalog. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint, S, produced proof versions and enhanced uncirculated versions, catering to the ever-evolving tastes of the numismatic community. The finishes offered in 2023 include Circulation Strike, D and P mints, intended for collectors, not for general use. Proof Strike S mint, high-contrast finish with mirror-like fields and frosted devices. Silver Proof S mint, struck in 99.9% silver as part of the annual Silver Proof set. Cultural and monetary significance in 2023. The 2023 Kennedy half-dollar may no longer be a tool of commerce, but its symbolic value remains strong. It continues to evoke a sense of national identity, patriotism, and remembrance. For baby boomers, the coin is a living link to a pivotal moment in American history. For younger collectors, it's a gateway into the world of numismatics, a hobby that brings history into one's hands. Its continued existence in 2023 speaks volumes about the balance the U.S. Mint strikes between honoring tradition and adapting To contemporary demands. In a world where fewer people use physical coins, the mint now positions such denominations more as commemorative items than functional currency. This evolution redefines the Kennedy half-dollar as a cross between a keepsake and a miniature monument, one that's mass-produced, yet deeply personal to its collectors. Production quality and collectability. The 2023 Kennedy half-dollar is generally easy to obtain through the mint, but high-grade examples, particularly those with perfect or near-perfect grading, are increasingly valued. Coins graded MS-70 or PF-70 by third-party grading services such as PCGS or NGC are sought after due to their flawless condition. Additionally, silver-proof versions, which contain 99.9% fine silver, are especially desirable among collectors and investors. These versions not only honor Kennedy's memory, but also carry intrinsic value due to their precious metal content. Limited mintages and high-quality production standards further enhance their appeal. Error coins and die varieties, such as doubled dies or plancher flaws, also capture the interest of enthusiasts who value rarity and minting anomalies. Though no major errors were widely reported in the 2023 series as of yet, the search for such variations is a beloved pursuit among collectors. The Kennedy half in an age of change. The continued minting of the Kennedy half-dollar raises thoughtful questions about the future of physical currency. Will denominations like the half-dollar fade away entirely, or will they remain as collector-only issues, more art than artifact? In 2023, the Kennedy half-dollar doesn't circulate in the pockets of cashiers or the drawers of everyday Americans. Yet it holds a unique space, timeless, dependable, familiar. It is the embodiment of a nation's need to remember, to preserve legacy through coinage. It's also a canvas of artistic and historical reverence, celebrating a president who still inspires across generations. Final reflections: the 2023 United States half-dollar isn't just another annual release. It's a milestone in continuity. It marks the endurance of memory in minted metal. While the world changes rapidly around it, the Kennedy half-dollar remains steady, offering a touchstone to American ideals, leadership, courage, unity. As collectors unwrap their 2023 rolls and sets, they are doing more than inspecting quality or seeking error varieties. They are participating in a living tradition. In their hands rests not only a coin, but a chronicle. A silent, shining echo of a voice that once challenged Americans to ask not what their country could do for them, but what they could do for their country. Like and subscribe this video.